it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms. And today we're going to take a look at my Meg-Mo mowing blades. If you haven't seen my other video on it, it's kind of designed like a brush hog blade with the center disc, and then it has actually 4 short blades that are allowed to swivel. And that means if you hit something, they're going to swing out of the way rather than throwing it so hard or damaging the blades or the spindles. So that's one of the big benefits of them. But anyway, I've been running them for 2 weeks now. Let's take a look and see if they need sharpened, and if they do, we'll run up there and get them sharpened. Alright, so honestly, most of the time I don't feel like new mower blades are that sharp the day you buy them, and this is no exception. I almost sharpened them before putting them on, but didn't want my grind to affect the results. But I think I am going to go ahead and sharpen them now. They're barely nicked at all. And I probably normally wouldn't sharpen these yet, but I want to cover the process of sharpening them, and I want to see how they do when they have a really nice edge on them. I was going to take these off from down here, but it's going to be more difficult to do it that way because the whole spindle wants to turn, and I don't have a good way in my head of how to hold them still. So I guess I'll take these off and then sharpen them that way. Alright, so we'll pop these off again. And then I'll pull the blade off. I'll put this up here and see if you can get a good look at it. The cutting edge, it doesn't start very far back. It's kind of a steep angle right here. And it's not really nicked up. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. It's not really all that nicked up, but it didn't have that sharp of an edge on it when I got it. I find that to be the case with the majority of mower blades. You could almost sharpen them before using them. But first I just wanted to run them the way they come from the factory. Now we'll sharpen them, see how they do. So one concern with sharpening these is how do you balance it? Because that's normally kind of a big deal on a regular mower blade. What the salesman told me was that the majority of the weight sets in the center, and it's actually easier to balance if you can take those 4 blades and put them next to each other and you can't tell the difference. They're going to be fine. So I'm going to go with what he told me. So ever since I got these, my plan has been to take them off like I have, then unbolt each blade individually, lock each blade in the vise, sharpen it, then put it back on. But I'm standing here looking at this, and that seems like extra steps. I can quite easily lock that blade down in the vise and have access to the entire cutting edge without taking it off. So why add that extra step? So doing it this way will take no longer than a regular blade. It comes off with the same 1 bolt. The only difference is you're going to sharpen 4 cutting edges instead of 2, but there's no extra step of disassembling the blades off of here. It's just pull your 1 bolt out, grind the cutting edges, put it back on. I can't say yet if this is an improved design. I'm not going to give my full judgment until I've ran them for at least a month, because I only do 10 yards a week. And I also do our property, which is large, in a baseball field. But I'm not someone who mows 100 yards a week and could pretty quickly tell. So just mowing for 2 weeks with them, they seem to be doing a good job. But I want to factor in any other problems I have. And, you know, these blades look pretty good for having run them 2 weeks over, I guess, 12 properties. So there's no point in showing you sharpening all 12 of these. So you see me do 2 of them. I'm going to finish up this set, and then I'll meet you back out at the mower. All right, as you can see, I'm already working in the dark. If you're as busy as I like to be, sometimes you'll find yourself working in the dark. But I want to answer the 2 questions that were asked the most on my first video about these blades. If you haven't already seen it, I'll put a link to the other video up here. But in that video, I did some mowing with the blades, and everyone was asking, how do you sharpen them? And I've answered that. The second question is, why would you spend that much on them? Because they're going to be around $300 depending on your mower type. So what Megmo would tell you is that they're not as expensive as you think they are. Because after the initial purchase, these blades should last twice as long at least as a regular blade, because they swing out of the way when they hit something, and they have more meat on them so you can sharpen them more. And then, if you do have to replace these blades, you're not replacing the whole unit, you're just replacing the ends, which is about 1/3 of the price of buying the whole thing. So, those are a couple things to consider. I showed a little bit of mowing with these in the first video, and I'll have another video soon showing more mowing with them after I've used them longer. But I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. In just a minute, you'll see links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.